phone because I'm down to 20%. So I have to go get a new.
Okay, so I think
backer.
that's 10 seconds. So we're good to go. And hey everybody, Star Trek, the original series, the 3rd season, the 10th episode or the 8th episode, depending on how you go. For the world is hollow, and I have touched the sky is over and has been since 1968. But we're just getting started here on TED Trek 60s TV rewatches. I'm Dave Mader, coming at you with Star Trek TV and movie reviews. And on this podcast, we cover the original series.
Yep. Can you still hear me?
Oh, yep. We still hear you. You're not moving at the moment. And that's my dad, Ted. How you doing, Dad? You gotta get your charger going. And also joining us is esteemed panelist Adam Woodward. How are you, Adam?
I'm great. Nice to see you guys.
Yeah, good to see you. I always look forward to our Wednesday chats about the original series.
Yeah.
And Dad, you're doing good? You can still hear me, right?
I don't hear anybody now.
Uh-oh. I don't know why. He's on his phone, so try refreshing it. We still hear and see you. Okay, well, that's sorted out. Oh wait, I got something in the host chat. He's saying no audio. I'm gonna tell him to refresh. Try that. I don't know what to do. I need to buy him a computer for Christmas, I think, is really the solution.
You didn't hear that either, so that's good.
I know. And he won't listen back to this, so it's okay.
Yeah.
So, Adam, while we're waiting for that episode, or for my dad to get this sorted out, and I don't know how to fix this for you, Dad. I don't, because people on their phones, it works, but it kind of doesn't when they're in through this interface. So, where I don't know, can you get Jeff to help? No, he's asleep. He's a postman. He's asleep. He's not going to be able to help you.
Where's the refresh button?
It's like the little. Hold on.
I don't see it. I don't see no refresh button.
It's like a circle.
A little circle.
Is it like a teardrop sideways?
No, it's like a circle.
No, I don't have one.
Too good. We hope you're still with us if you're listening.
Well, I don't have one here. I'm not seeing it.
Okay, close the
X.
Close it and reopen the link.
No.
It's funny that we can still hear him too. I don't understand why it does that. Okay, so let's see if that works. But Adam, the people are dying to know. For the world is hollow, and I have touched the sky. What was your take on this?
I didn't have high hopes, but I watched it last night, and I actually quite enjoyed it. There he is.
Can you hear us?
Yeah.
Okay. Don't change anything. Okay.
I'm not going to.
All right. Because we can still hear you that whole time, even though you couldn't hear us.
You?
Oh, yeah.
All right. Yeah, well, it didn't give me a refresh button on my phone.
Yeah. What browser are you using?
Whatever's on my phone.
Like the Apple phone? You have an app? Okay. It doesn't matter.
An Apple.
Yeah, try using Chrome maybe. I don't know. All right. Adam, you said you watched the episode last night and you enjoyed it?
I did. It got me right away. You want to hear what Ted has to say first, and then we can get into it?
No, you go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So, the opening scene was great. I thought that, something's going on in Dr. McCoy's office there. He's got Nurse Chapel. They're arguing about something. It looked real. It really did. It was a great moment, between what's going on here. I've never seen him talk to anybody like that. His help. clearly hiding something, and it was just a great start to that episode, I thought. And she looked concerned, and off she stormed, and then we found out a few minutes later that Dr. McCoy's got a terminal illness. So I thought that was a great setup to the episode, and then we went into credits. So I have lots more to say about this show. So
Yeah.
That's a good start. Yeah, and that's definitely it's very kind of compelling in that way. It's also this whole asteroid thing, right? That's all in the cold open too. Or
Well,
like
the missiles.
the
coming
missile.
in,
The
too.
missile is the first thing. Yeah, that's right.
There's a
So-
whole bunch of missiles, right?
Yeah, some missiles are shot at them. They never really explain why, right? Missiles were shot at them.
Yeah.
they didn't explain that at that point.
No, I don't think they mentioned that at all. Why they were sent.
But that leads them to this ship. So yeah, the McCoy cliffhanger. I'm dying right before in the cold open, and then brings them to this asteroid that's on a collision course with a planet. But it turns out it's not an asteroid because they can tell it's correcting. It's not orbiting this star. It's moving around, and further scans show it's got like a whole world inside of it, and that's
It's got very poor, very old, 10,000-year-old. Logistics, but it doesn't make sense if it's 10,000 years old, and yet atomic was only discovered on Earth in 300 years before that.
Yeah, but they're not from Earth.
Well, I don't know. They look like Earthlings.
Yeah, their species is called Rumari or something of that nature. Fabrini.
Fabrini.
Yeah, they're Fabrini. Dad, there are all kinds of aliens that look exactly like humans in Star Trek. There are more than I can count.
That's true.
There are in the original series, like they were lucky if they painted an alien a different color, like if they had money for that. Most of the time, it was just like, I don't know, this is a human. Like remember that one where they all had to dance around and those the Plato stepchildren.
Yes.
They look like humans too.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Now I think, and even Next Gen did that more often than I would like. Curving
an eyebrow up or making,
Yeah, if you're lucky, if you got a little thing like kind of glued onto their nose or onto their forehead, you were doing pretty good. That like, oh, okay, this is an alien. But these ones are not. But the Fabrini physically look human, and they are an ancient race, like that's been around for at least 10,000 years, plus. That had that enough that Spock's familiar with like their language and other things from his studies, I suppose. But this whole like once they get onto this asteroid planet, they beam down. They realize, well, why do they make a ship look like a planet? Spock says that right in dialogue. That's kind of weird. And then as they're kind of looking around, they turn their back on those three little pods at the most inopportune time, because right when they turn around, they think they come up and these like guys come out with swords, and there's a bit of a throwdown. Like not enough time for Spock and all of them to get their phasers out. Right?
No,
Phasers versus swords.
It was very like it was just really a fist fight between all of the guys. And did you notice? And I don't recall this happening too much, but where McCoy is actually again. So we just announced he's got a terminal illness, and now he's into a physical fight. So you're feeling a little bit. Oh no, he's gonna hurt. Like it was. He was thrown to the ground, and again, you see the compassion. Between again, this is for me. It was pretty cool because you saw the real friendship between the three of them.
All of them to get their phasers out.
No, phasers versus swords. It was very.
Are you watching us?
Just really a fist fight between all of the guys. And
I'm hearing us in echo.
Yeah, it's on delay on my computer. Your mother got it working, but it seems like I'm stalled. So I'm gonna stay on the phone.
Yeah, stay on the phone. We can hear you and see you fine. You can still hear and see us?
Shut that one off, dear. That's all.
But coming back to this, it was like you see the friendship of these guys, because Kirk is his first thing is let me get to my friend. It wasn't like to get my crewmate, or it was more let me get to my friend and see if he's okay.
Yes.
That was a nice moment. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think we've talked about this a bit in the past, but the McCoy Kirk friendship is strong. of these, like, I think they're all good friends. I think that the weakest friends, if you will, are probably Spock and Kirk of this trio. They're more partners than they are true friends. But that's neither here nor there. It's more just a matter that I think that it goes to just that these three are like the main leads of the show. By this point, McCoy, DeForest Kelly, this is third season. He's actually in the credits by this point. And that it's about these shows, but I don't understand why they don't just take a couple red shirts with them on this thing, because they really could have used it in this particular fight.
But so the fight happens, and then they sort of go downstairs. Okay, let's go. It was it. It was funny how that just got resolved all of a sudden, and then you're down wherever they're down, and I guess in the world, and off to meet the Oracle.
Right, but before, like during that fist fight, the reason I got the impression the reason they lost that fist fight was because McCoy got goo eyes for what was her name, Natira, the High Priestess.
Yes.
So because he kind of like locks eyes with her, and particularly original series does this. Old TV shows would do this, where like the whole love at first sight sort of trope. And they do it all the time in Star Trek. Like, no matter who you are, once you like lock eyes with a really attractive woman, or then boom, it's like life changing. And I don't think that that's untrue, but it's just they do it so often. You're like, come on, are you guys like so like whatever? That's I'm nitpicking. But when they get down there, they meet the Oracle, which is like the computer system basically of this ship that acts like they're God, and they're like, "Hey,
man, I lost it again.
Lost what? Audio? Do the same thing here. Just do what you did. Just close and rejoin. There he goes. Okay, so I still got to get him a better setup.
So again, it wasn't really clear why they were shocked when they first met the Oracle. Other than, first we put you in pain, and then we're your friends, or something like that. That was the line.
Yeah, he says we come in friendship. He's like, before you know us as friends, you will know what it is to be our enemy. And they give him the electric shock. I'm like, that seemed a little excessive.
Was that James Doohan doing that voice?
I bet you it is. It sounds exactly like James Doohan.
Yeah.
Let me see if that's in the credits here.
The voice of
it is. It's James Doohan as the Oracle.
Oh, I have to watch something harder then.
Yeah. They use that voice another time. Remember, it was Trelane, right? Trelane, who's kind of like, he was like that Napoleon's guy.
It was like his father.
Yeah, and it was that same voice, like that, hello. And I don't know how James Doohan pulled that voice off, but he's one of the great voice actors of that time, and could do any accent if he heard it once, and was quite really good at that. Yeah, but yeah, thanks for you hear it and you go, I know that voice. I know they've used that on Star Trek, but who does it? But it's totally and then they wake up after this electricity demonstration. And McCoy's a little slower getting up from it, and this is where Kirk feels the need to tell Spock what's going on.
But again, then there's the caring Spock who gives that reassurance, the little squeeze on his arm to McCoy, and saying, "Hey, I'm with you on this." I figure so. I like that part of the episode. The respect or at least friendship in some way, in some fashion, as much as Spock can give you.
Showing some level of care, which is uncharacteristic for Spock. And this is when I like Spock sort of like in his reserved nature, like, that he never like the biggest time is when he thought he killed Kirk in Amok time, and then he didn't, right? So he was happy that he hadn't killed him. But that's the most emotion we ever saw Spock do. I thought this was nice. This was a nice little nod that Spock and McCoy, that they have a camaraderie. They care about each other, which is good. And what happens after that? I think it's just like they see Natira again, and this is Kirk and McCoy, or sorry, Spock and McCoy go. Spock and Kirk, I'm sorry, go off to investigate what the heck's going on here. And but McCoy basically gets married in the next few minutes, right? Because she's like,
also, but they recognize too is that, oh gosh, what's her name again? Natiri.
Natira, yeah.
Natira. Anyway, Natira, she's clearly attracted to McCoy. They say, okay, you stay here and just, keep her busy because we want to go check out this place. And then they leave the room and they talk about getting married.
yeah, that they talk it over. She's like, do you find me attractive? I was like, he's like, oh yeah. I was like, you find him attractive? Like, I don't really understand what's going on here. Why you two are why she's fixated on McCoy? Does she just want to marry a doctor? Is that her lifelong ambition? I don't get it. If anyone can explain me?
No, there's nothing to explain. They just matched.
If you say so. I don't.
Nice blue eyes. Nice blue eyes. That's.
Yeah.
Yes.
He's got the nice blue eyes, but he looks like he's the Marlboro man too, right? So it's a little bit of a. I'm not whatever, but it's it's like even when we watched that Shore Leave and he was like going after that much younger woman too, and I was like, I don't know. If this is a good match, I don't know if you make a cute couple at least, from that standpoint. But he's like, you know what, I'm dying. Whatever and the dress she wears is incredible, by the way. Like, so like, you kind of buy it. You're like, okay, well maybe like if I was dying and whatever, and this seemed like, where I could spend the next year of my life, then I guess it's plausible that McCoy could maybe do it.
That guy that came in and first alerted them that he had broke the rules. Remember him?
Oh yeah, we forgot about him. Yeah, he's the one who says the line, the title of the episode.
That's right.
Oh, the world is hollow.
Before all this, yes.
Yeah, that happened before she came in. I was like, what happened?
Creepy kind of guy, eh?
Yeah, like I didn't know what he was there to do. He brought them some herbs, right?
Yes. He brought them some herbs, and then he told them he climbed the mountains. When he told
he climbed the mountains even though it's forbidden. Why is it forbidden?
They'd give that thing to his head.
Right. And so him even just talking about that activates his whatever that device is in there.
Instrument of obedience.
The disc of obedience.
Instrument.
Instrument of obedience. Yeah. It's this little implant that if you talk about something that they don't like, they'll basically kill you or at least hurt you really badly with it.
It's another
yeah, but he must have lost our audio again. Okay. I wonder if it just times out for him after a few minutes or something like that. I've never gotten to the bottom of it with the phone people, but the thing with like him is there he is.
Off.
Yeah, I think it times out after a couple minutes for phone people for some reason. I don't know why. But I will look into it. But the guy who climbed the mountains and he comes because they say, well, he says, where are you from? And they go up there, and this is what leads him to tell the story, and is the biggest clue. But did you like the performance? Did everyone like just the way he delivers this dialogue? Just like, oh, the world is hollow, and I have touched the sky
more regularly. I can't hear you, Dave, at all.
Can you hear Adam?
Can you hear me now? No, he's gone. Listen, I yes, it was over the top performance, but that line needed to be delivered in that way. It was good. It was just he came in. He basically told us what we already know. The world is hollow, but I think he just showed himself as a dreamer, and then we had to get set up for the what do you call it, instrument of obedience, and that was the method to do that. So and then he's gone, right?
Yeah. No, I get it. His purpose in the story is clear, right? That he's an older Fabrini guy who's suspicious of his reality, is looking for some answers, and he dies for it. And by the way, is any title? I can't think of an episode with a longer title than this one.
The longest title for sure.
Yeah. And this leads them on their quest to like what's going on here. What can we figure out? Why do they not know they're on a ship? And they go to the temple, and the oracle is not activated by this. Their entry. It's not until somebody kneels on the altar.
Mhm.
But so she comes in and says, like these outsiders, I want to marry. Oh, talks about she wants to marry McCoy because she's the high priestess, and only the high priestess is allowed to pick who they marry. Everybody else, I guess, has arranged marriages on this asteroid ship. Dad, you can hear us?
Yeah, but it's going on and off very regularly.
Hmm.
So
We'll
I don't know
we'll
if
figure
you
out a
guys will, like-
solution eventually.
What's that?
Not this moment. Not now.
No.
I can't do anything now. But
No.
we'll sort out your computer and we'll get this fixed.
Yeah, it keeps going black, and can you hear me now? Just nod your head. Can you hear me? Yeah, I can't hear you. You're both me. And it says I'm current to go live, and I'm not. I should be live, and and that's what it's saying to me. And there's no refresh bar at all. That it's telling me my battery's maybe too low for it, but my power is at 34%. So I don't know. There's something red going on here, but I don't know.
Well, we can hear you.
Do you need a certain amount of power to get? You can't hear you.
I don't know. I don't think so. But
I thought it was a great episode, all in all. But you can't.
Okay.
I can't hear what you're saying about my comments, so I'll just keep my comments quiet.
just
Oh, jeez, I don't.
All right, we'll keep going.
I don't know. Yeah. So
So you're talking about the priestess is the only one who can marry in this asteroid ship.
Yes.
So
Yeah. She's the only one, and he, but conveniently, and he's like, the oracle's like, well, if you marry him, you better make sure he's not going to be blaspheming around here and doing things we don't like. And she's like, oh no, I'll teach him everything about our ways or whatever. Can you hear us? Okay, we'll see how long this lasts. Dad, tell us your thoughts on this episode. Just tell us what you think.
I thought it was a good episode. It really kept you interested all the way through, and it's not one that you see repeated on TV a lot. It's one that's a kind of an obscure one, if you will.
I don't remember seeing this episode ever until last night.
Is that right? Yeah, it's very obscure, and just the title alone. I said when I saw the title of it, I said I don't know what this episode is. I've never seen it before, so I watched it, and it was quite good.
Yeah, not bad. It's like I don't think. Well, we'll give our rating and we'll sort of quantify this episode, but not a terrible episode. Interesting. You're not like out of it at any point. You're kind of following along, and you're kind of.
It's a good storyline, good characters, but there's no real action to this episode. Did you remember there was another episode where they were chasing or trying to divert a comet or an asteroid from an Earth-like world where there was Native Americans, and it was this season too. And I remember that one being the asteroid one. So
that's right. Yeah, I was like, have they not done this before, where there's a ship inside of an asteroid?
I went and looked it up, and it was like 3 episodes before.
In the same season, they did 2 episodes with people living inside asteroids.
Yeah, three or
the Paradise Syndrome.
That's it.
The Paradise Syndrome. Yeah.
Paradise Syndrome. Yeah.
Well, I hope they're not written by the same people.
I don't quite understand how they left this place. They put the ship back on track to not run into a planet, but what happened to the main the Scotty voice guy? What happened with that?
Once they open that door, I think that the Oracle. I don't think we hear from him again, do we?
No, but
I don't know. And all those people who had the Oracle things in their head, like the girl who had it removed, Natura, but everybody else still had them in their head. But did he still control all of those other people, or did Natura kind of get McCoy to take them out of everybody's head?
Well, you saw
I
that they
don't-
were quite easy to remove. But what I understood, so eventually, yeah, they get inside the temple, and McCoy's like, you got to get inside the book that's inside the pillar. If you press the 3 buttons, because the Oracle's like, nope, you guys know too much. I'm gonna bake you alive. I'm gonna turn up the heat, and I'm gonna kill you with heat. But it's a slow burn, and they're able to kind of get the user manual open, which is what that book is. It's basically the instruction manual. And Spock goes, yep,
Yeah.
just press this button, open factory settings, and this thing is neutralized. And that's it. Like, that's the end of the Oracle.
Yeah, I thought it was kind of amazing that Spock was able to take a book the size of the Bible and find the right parable and find the directions to instantly on how to get in and fix this thing. You know?
You scanned very.
Yeah.
But you also forgot when the Oracle, found Spock and Kirk in the room there and gave them another shock and
Yeah.
basically ordered their execution. And if you remember too, it was like McCoy said, you can keep me here. I can be married to you, but I'm not going to be happy if you kill my friends. Let them go back.
Yeah, we did skip right over that stuff, but that was quite uncharacteristic of a television show, of a Star Trek episode, for like this turn of face, which I thought was really interesting. Just like she's like, no, Oracle says I have to kill them, and he's like, but that's gonna make me sad if you do that. And she's like, yeah, you're right, let him go, and that's it. Like it just plays out exactly like that.
So then they're on the Enterprise, and McCoy talks about the book and says, okay, this is how we're going to take over this ship, essentially. Look at the book.
And that's when the Oracle started to give him took him down.
Yeah. He was lucky that when he fell, he just happened to be standing on that shag rug.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was quite that was fortunate for him.
That was lucky.
Yeah.
So he was okay.
It worked out.
It killed the old man.
It killed the old man, but not McCoy, because he was just talking about where the book was. He wasn't even trying to talk about anything really.
No, other than he touched the sky.
Yeah. So yeah, and then she gets, like, when he's telling Natiri like the truth, like, you don't live on a planet, and that's not the real sun, and that's not the real stars, and it starts hurting her, but it doesn't kill her. So I like, it's just because the old man was weak. Is that why it killed him?
Maybe, yeah, maybe.
Like, I don't know. It's not quite consistent.
I
don't know.
But
by the end of the story, like, yeah, they figure out how to kind of turn this around, and McCoy and Natiri, like, kind of decide they have to part ways, right? Like,
yeah.
But okay, I didn't get quite to the end of the episode, to be honest with you. So you can tell me how this thing ended, because did he get cured? Obviously he did, but like,
Yes.
How did he get cured of the disease?
Go ahead, Adam.
Well, that's what I still don't understand. How he went back to the Enterprise to get treated. So something happened, and
Well, don't you remember when they were in the control room of the asteroid ship, as Spock's walking out on the left, he sees all these discs and stuff.
Oh, right. Yeah.
And he goes. They're very advanced medical. Volumes of things here.
Yeah.
The Farini were very advanced, and so he must have grabbed those files. And,
he did. He took them back to the Enterprise, and they developed a cure for
this disease that only he has, xenopolycythemia.
Yeah, something about red blood cells.
Xenopolythermia.
Yeah. Xenopolythermia.
So, luckily, the Farini had already come up with a cure for this disease, and so they just picked it up in that engine room. It just happened to be there. So
yes, I just looked it up. They referenced it a few times in Enterprise as well. But
did they?
I guess they cured that disease, not just for McCoy, but I guess anybody who had it or would get it in the future too. So.
No, it does, because now Karina is concerned, and I want to know.
Yeah, it was a very good episode. As far as that, and then the other part of it, when they got back, again, McCoy saying, "Okay, you know what? I'm going to meet you at that planet. You guys you're on your way. You're gonna be there in about a year, wherever they're headed." and I'm going to meet you there, and we'll catch you up. He'll catch up then. So, but I guess he's married to this woman. He's
Is
got a
he?
wife.
Yeah. Okay, but what do you mean? He stays on the ship?
No. He when he goes back to the Enterprise for treatment, he tells her, you guys are going for another year. Like, you're going to be another year before you hit to your new home world. That was the whole point. They're going to a new planet, right?
Right.
And he said to her, "I'll meet you there."
But we don't know if he ever did.
No.
And then I think Kirk said to him at the end, "We'll make it to try and rendezvous you at that section if you would like us to, in a year from now."
Right. Jane saying, as Jody would say, very convenient they saw those medical knowledge banks to cure McCoy's disease right at the right moment, and she's not wrong.
That's right. Yes.
It's a Deus Ex Machina at its best, if you will.
That was very convenient.
But that was pretty much the ending. It wasn't a super end. I mean, it just ended, really.
Maybe they meant it for the sequel. Well, we don't have fun facts with Jeff. Well, we can do fun facts with Dave.
That's good.
Yeah,
we can do fun facts with Dave. Give it to us, Dave.
All right, let's find out what we can find out. All right, so the idea for the multi-generational spaceship is an old one. It's been in lots of science fiction stories, including the Russian name, Konstantina Tsiolkovsky, or I don't know how to say them, and a few others. So that this is like this is a pretty common science fiction story. Harlan Ellison had a version of that, and others. The prop used as the Book of the People is the same one used as the Chicago Mob of the 20s in A Piece of the Action.
Is it?
Yeah, I guess they probably just changed the cover or something, but it's the same book, the same prop. The metal helical staircase is recycled from the episode called The Empath. The scenes of Yonada are reused footage of the asteroid from the Paradise Syndrome. The episode so they're like,
called that.
We're building these sets inside of an asteroid. We need at least 2 episodes of people living in asteroids to make this economical. This is the only series episode to feature 3 actors who appeared in the original pilot. Leonard Nimoy, Majel Barrett, and John Lormer, who played the old man, who I guess he was in those stories. I don't know who he played. As well as, as Barrett and Number One played Number One and Theodore Haskins. Oh, he was one of those people, in like the menagerie where they go down to the planet with the Telosians, and there's that guy who's like, here's so-and-so. She was a baby when we crashed and all that. I don't know if I might be reaching here, but if you remember that at all, that's that same guy. To give more depth to the planet set, the entrances of the underground civilization were built in 2 sizes. Those in the distance were constructed much smaller, thus creating an illusion of distance. Pretty common. The bridge scene that runs under Kirk's voiceover at the start of Act 1, where Kirk enters from the turbolift, is the same footage from the very beginning of the episode. According to, there's not a lot more here. According to the call sheet, Dick Gary appeared as the security guard in this episode, but it seems his appearance ended up as a deleted scene. And this episode has the longest title of any episode in any Star Trek series.
Yes, I would believe that.
And just last fun fact, in the original draft, it was actually Scotty who had the disease, not McCoy, who was terminally ill.
Oh.
They changed it. Okay, so with that said, let's quantify some things and rate this episode. So,
Hey, Dave.
Yeah.
Before you go on here, the Paradise Syndrome aired on October.
Maybe we could get a phone-in rating from Jody.
Yeah, maybe. He might not even seen the episode. So, but I'll find out what Jody.
It was a no-miss episode. I mean, Jody, you gotta, if you're watching, you gotta chime in here.
This doesn't seem like an episode Jody would like, but
yeah, that's true. That's about every other episode.
But this episode aired 1 month after the Paradise Syndrome did, so they basically waited. They had You guys can't hear me now, right?
I can hear you.
Okay. That was it was a month later that they had this asteroid.
I see the chart, but that's all I see right now.
So
refresh. If you can't, or can you hear us?
I can hear you. Yeah.
Okay, as long as you
I'm
can hear me, that's all that matters. Okay,
Yeah,
so
I'm not touching
all
anything.
right, so let's just yeah, that was a great thing to know. You know what, like maybe we should watch the Paradise Syndrome. Maybe not next week, but at some point, just to see how these two compare. But
Are you talking?
yes, yes,
I'm not hearing anything you're saying.
no.
No,
What about Adam? Do you hear Adam?
I don't hear Adam. I hear you when you talk, but I don't hear Adam.
Ted, do you hear me now? No.
Dad, can you give me your rating?
Great.
8.2.
8.2. Okay, that's great. Okay, well, let's move. Then let's bring this into full screen. Adam, you're next. You can go next.
I think it's
So-
got to do with the thing being up is that I'm not hearing you guys.
Yeah, maybe not.
I'll give it a solid B, 7.5.
Okay. I'll give this a 7. Not bad. Sorry, I just want. Is it better than Cat's Paw? It's about the same as Cat's Paw for me. So, so that between the three of us, that averages out at 7.6, and it has an IMDb rating of 7.2. So
Not
still
bad.
comes out. Yeah, not bad. So it's definitely not in even the bottom half of episodes. It's very respectable. It's well above the average overall. So I'd say that there was way more good than bad with this, and so hey, I'm glad I watched it because this, like, I think myself, I had never really watched this before. Something about the altar was familiar, so I might have seen that at some point on a screen somewhere, but I definitely had never really watched this episode. So thanks for suggesting it.
I'm glad I saw this one.
Yeah,
This
no,
was
it's a
good.
good one for sure.
Dad, do you have another
Yeah.
one in mind?
Yes, I do. Yes, for next week,
What would that be? Yes.
Arena.
Oh,
Aha.
Arena. I like Arena.
Yes. Okay.
Do you know which one it is?
Yes.
Do I ever? Hold on. Well, hold that thought for a second because I'm going to bring you up something.
Okay. I think Jody will like Arena.
Oh, he'll like Arena.
It's one of the iconic episodes.
There it is. Okay, just let me. Sorry. When I'm just. There it is. You see that, Dad?
Yes. Battle
Kirk.
of Brawn.
In a fight to the
Kirk
death.
versus the Gorn. That's
On
it.
Cestus
Yeah, the
3.
Gorn.
Who will
Faster.
reign supreme?
What's that? A picture you have?
Actually, I do have that on my wall. It's right up here. Actually, you can't see it very well on camera, but it's a little it's like a boxing poster. So Arena, probably maybe the most famous of all the Star Trek episodes, just because it's been referenced in so many movies and different things and whatever. Oh, there he goes. But I'm excited. Yeah, I think I'm really excited to watch Arena again. This is gonna be good.
Yeah.
So, all right, we'll just go wait for. Oh, we're gonna wait for him to come back here. If he's gonna come in to say goodbye. There he is.
There he goes.
Yeah. So, Dad, we'll be
back
watching
again.
Arena next Wednesday. The Gorn of on Cestus 3, and everything to do. The Gorn are a very interesting species, and
Yes, they're different species.
yeah,
And then
they've only
Adam,
developed.
next week, Adam, you pick the after the review of the Arena, you pick the following week, okay?
Okay, I already know which one that will be. You can put it on paper if you like, Dave.
Oh, okay, yeah, I can write it down so I don't forget.
We'll do Miri.
Miri, Miri.
Yeah.
What is that?
For me, it's one of my iconic episodes. I loved this one as a kid.
Is it
And
another one I don't know?
maybe.
Is that where they got the disease? That one?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Okay, I remember it. Yeah.
I don't think I know this
Okay.
either.
Yeah,
Once you
it's-
got when you turn 13, you got the diseases.
that's right. Yeah.
Yes.
I think it's 8. Yeah.
Nope,
Just enough
never
to
seen it.
skip- No,
No,
It's
I've
a
never
good one.
seen it.
it's a good
Okay.
one. Yeah.
So that's a good thing about this podcast is there's actually episodes that are not rewatches; they're just straight out watches. I thought I'd seen all of these, but I guess I haven't. So
We're finding
Yeah.
some.
we're finding some, but Arena is definitely one I have. But that's not a problem. I like talking about that one. All right, so just to plug all our other shows, Live Long and Podcast is our Star Trek podcast, and here on this channel, we're on Facebook, YouTube. You can listen to us on SoundCloud and Stitcher and wherever you get your podcasts. It's all there. And so Tuesday nights we do Deep Space Nine rewatches. Wednesday night here is original series. Thursday night we're watching Star Trek Lower Decks as that's in its first season, and we're moving on to the 4th episode. Friday night, we'll have our next installment of Star Trek Radio Theater as we're doing an episode from the next generation called Tapestry, where it's kind of like A Wonderful Life in space. Like if you ever seen that movie A Wonderful Life with what's his name, Jimmy Stewart. It's kind of like that with Q, where Q gives Picard a chance to kind of relive a moment from his past, and changes what his destiny was, but it doesn't quite work out for him. Not to blow it away. So check that out. My brother Jeff is going to be playing Picard himself. I'll be playing the Nausicaans and Riker and Troy or Crusher, and you can see it all there. But so check that out. Friday Night Live. You can listen to us live, or you can check it out after the fact as well. So we hope you'll see that one. So. And then also on just last thing is also we have our two other channels. One is called Trivial Debates, where we do a monthly channel where we fight about movies, sports, music, TV, and more. That one just happened last weekend on Saturday. It was me, Jody, and Chris going against each other. And also we have Super Mater Brothers Podcasting, where we cover Big Brother 3 times a week. Tonight I'll be jumping off, watching the Vito episode of Big Brother, and coming back for that later on. So if you like Big Brother, check that out. And that's it. All right. So thank you, Dad. Thank you, Adam. And I will talk to you guys next week.